ride today. Sally, welcome back to the Mail-In Podcast. I am your host, Brett Merriman. Sitting in front of me, my co-host, the esteemed, the one and only, the lovely Sally deFries. Sally, what's going on?
It's great to be back.
How are you?
I'm great.
How was your week off?
Well, Will filled in, which was nice.
How'd you think you did?
If I'm being completely transparent, I didn't listen. I think
you'd like it, honestly.
Okay. So I was feeling sick last Wednesday. Then I went to work on Thursday. We were going to record after I got done with work, but then that ended up being better that Will filled in because I didn't get off work till like 6.
Oh, that would have been tough.
And then I really felt like shit and was sick the next day. So probably for the best.
Okay. I think we had fun. I would recommend going back and listening.
I'll listen.
It was the Will and Brett show. We were just doing guy stuff.
Do you listen to podcasts that you're on?
Yeah, sometimes. Not like 100% of the time, but I like to do like a little
quality assurance.
Yeah, a little
check.
Quality assurance or check the X's and O's and make sure my cadence and my delivery is solid enough. Yeah.
Okay. I don't.
I
probably I'm gonna just say it. I don't even subscribe to Mail-In. I should.
You absolutely should.
But I'm not gonna listen to it. I don't want to hear myself speak.
Well, you get the downloads though.
Yeah. Okay.
We need those. Numbies are always good.
Hold on. Let me subscribe right now on air. Sorry, you guys. Everyone should subscribe to the Mail-In.
Yeah, I was gonna say, if you want to be like Sally's doing right now, go to iTunes or Spotify, hit subscribe or follow on either of those apps. Maybe leave a rating for us, 5 stars ideally. Maybe a review. We've had some good reviews come in lately. Okay. We'll have to read those at some point.
New subscriber.
That's huge for us, honestly. Hit the hotline number. That is 888-362-MAIL. 888-362-6245, or you can write in at the link in the Twitter bio at Mail-In Podcast. A couple voicemails today, Sally. 2 voicemails.
Yeah.
Excited for it. You want to get right into it?
Let's
just jump in.
We didn't even look 2 minutes in. We haven't even we've never been this quick.
Well, I mean, we can bullshit for a while if you want.
No, who knows what these questions, what kind of roads they're going to take us down. So let's leave ourselves some wiggle room.
Could be the Boulevard of Broken Dreams. Are you a Green Day fan?
Yeah, I was really like a Yellow Card fan.
Oh, okay.
Not that they're like competitors in terms of like bands, but I was a big Yellow Card girl.
Ocean Avenue.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Of course.
Empty Apartment was like my emo jam.
That's that little deep cut right there.
For sure, a deep cut.
Dang.
We had a Power Hour sophomore year. We were really into Power Hour.
Is that where you take a shot of beer every 1 minute?
Yes.
Okay.
And it's sophomore year of college. I think we discovered what Power Hour was freshman year. I mean, I discovered what Power Hour was. I wasn't a big drinker till college. And then we would like pregame everything sophomore year by playing Power Hour.
Like Bio 101. Let's fucking Power Hour.
Well, no, but like parties.
Oh, okay.
Which was like a really bad decision.
Yeah, it's a lot of beer.
It's so much beer. And you're just bloated and full on beer. Like no wonder I didn't I gained weight freshman year, but I gained way more weight sophomore year because I was just drinking so much beer.
That's great. You're better off, honestly, just ripping like 3 shots.
Right.
Way better off.
Well,
and it's just like somebody has the clock. It's a lot of work.
College friend group. There's like 5 of us, the core 5 of us, and we would play Power Hour and then rip shots to Coldplay "Fix You," which is like a really.
Are you guys okay?
Well, so we would have these Power Hours and we would like each like playlist would have a theme. And one of them was like the punk rock Power Hour.
Sure. Yeah.
Like full of like Blink-182 and Yellow Card and like Avril Lavigne, like deep cuts.
Yeah.
And then we had Power Ballads Power Hour. That was like mostly Celine Dion.
Sure. My heart will go on.
And we would like cut it because there was like different apps and stuff, so you could like pick which part of the song, and we would like cut whatever, the like her holding notes and stuff. So like our other friends that weren't like the 5 of us would like walk in and be like, these bitches are like
what are these
belting
freaks doing?
Celine Dion. And then after that was done, an hour worth, or like probably 45 minutes when we would get sick of it, we would rip shots to
oh my God.
the like really depressing part of the song "Fix You."
All of it, you mean?
Well, but like, when it's like, you
You call that that's the bridge is the most uplifting part of that whole song.
Well, yeah, but like, and then Chris Martin's like, tear stream, and like we would be like, everyone's like, shot, like
Wow.
it was like fucked up. And one of my friends, the last of that group, is getting married in November.
Congratulations.
In LA, and I was like, is the band / DJ, I think she's having both, gonna think that I'm a psychopath when I go request Fix You and then like make everyone take a shot? Like,
yeah. Yeah, but you have to.
Yeah,
just for old time's sake.
For her sake, like last wedding of that group, we gotta
have to.
Yeah.
My thing was, you ever play Thunderstruck, the Thunderstruck game?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, we did that. And then we'd find the version on YouTube that's like cut differently.
We didn't do Thunderstruck as much as we did Black Betty.
Oh, I don't know that one. I know the song. I don't know the game.
You drink every time they say Black Betty.
Everybody, or the next person in line?
You know it probably was the next person in line, but again, we were drunk, so we just every time, which is essentially you're just chugging your drink the whole song.
Yeah, absolutely. See, there's our tangent, Sally. Now we're 6.5 minutes.
Okay, I feel better about it.
Let's get started. Oh man, I haven't power hour. I would probably like I'd be like, I'm gonna go take a Tums. I can't do this anymore.
Do you know what the Texas version of a power hour is?
No. Do I want to?
There's like a Texas version where every 10th minute, like on the 10 minutes, you take a shot of whiskey or tequila.
Oh my God.
It's really rough. And I would do this thing because I didn't want to it was easier for me to like chug beer out of a cup than like a shot glass.
Sure.
So I would just like mark a solo cup. I mean, they show where the shot is.
Yeah.
I always filled
Life
up
hack.
way more than what it was supposed to be. So I was like drinking, probably 8 beers in an hour.
Oh yeah.
It's way too many beers.
That's so much beer. Don't get me wrong.
And then we would make pyramids because we were trash. We thought it was hilarious.
Which is empty beer cans stacked on top of each other in a pyramid.
As our apartment decorations.
I see. We used to make beer zookas where you just tape.
We called that wizard sticks.
Wizard sticks?
Yeah. It's like a staff.
Yeah.
Like your Gandalf. And you would tape them together.
Yeah. Beer zookas, wizard sticks.
Yeah.
What Randy probably had some cool fraternity Purdue name for him.
No, he's shaking his head no.
Wizard
sticks.
Okay. Randy was a nerd. Purdue. Yeah. Neil Armstrong went there. Astronaut. Anyway, let's do the mail-in.
Okay.
Hey, mail-in crew. I'll try to keep this short. I've been at my current job for just about a year and don't have many complaints, except that I hate working in an office. Well, good for you. There's a global pandemic. My first job was blue collar for about 4 years, so working inside all day has been a real change of pace. Here's the kicker. I want to apply for a job that would help me build a portfolio for my dream job as a National Geographic photographer.
Tight.
But keep creating excuses so I don't leave the environment I'm used to. Any advice for a young guy wanting to move across the country to start on a completely new path? P.S. If I got the job, I'd be moving from Florida to Alaska. Thanks in advance. So, we've done the new job thing. We've done the move across the country thing. But I wanted to shift this more into, by the way, short answer to his advice is, yeah, do it. Just line it up correctly. But I wanted to get your opinion, Sally, on turning a side hustle into a career. Do you have friends that maybe they've been nurses or maybe they've been in the medical professions or teachers that, maybe they start a podcast or have a clothing brand or have an athletic hustle? When you want to turn your side hustle into a career, where would you start?
Well, the king of turning a side hustle into a career
is your husband.
Is Will deFries.
That's fair.
And I think he's actually, not to point to another podcast, but I think that he actually has done several podcasts on Sunday Scaries about this exact topic. Mm-hmm. I'm the worst person to ask because my main hustle has always been medicine,
Yeah, true.
But there are people in our field who have, certain interests that they're pursuing outside of it. I guess you would call this my side hustle.
Podcasting with me?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Shouts.
But I'm confused. Is this guy's side hustle?
Well, I would imagine he has a distinct interest in photography,
Right.
and he's wondering. So I have this job that I don't necessarily not enjoy, but it keeps me cooped up all day.
Right.
When my passion is getting outside, presumably, and taking wildlife photography or nature photography. That maybe he does it on the weekends now.
Right.
But what if he could do a job that might be a little less stable, but it allows him to build a portfolio to eventually be like, hey, Nat Geo, I would like to be a photographer full time for
Right.
you.
Again, know your strengths, know your weaknesses.
Mhm.
My weakness is that I am super type A, and like the thought of
Instability.
not having a stable job and like one where I like know exactly what's going on
Mhm.
really scares the shit out of me.
Sure.
So when Will did it, I was like, I don't think this is a good idea. Really, really ice cold take for me. But that being said, I think when you are trying to turn a side hustle into a career, the people that I know that have done it, and I feel like this is so much more common, especially as like the world of like influencing and social media and things like that. People
Sure,
who have
even
those
the
careers,
pandemic in a way.
yeah, like have turned what they, just started as a passion project into like a
Mhm.
full-time job. The number one thing is leaving your current job.
Yeah.
Right? Like
Pursuing it in a more, in a way that is literally taking a leap
right,
because you need
because
to devote more time to
you're
it.
never gonna have enough time to devote what is needed
Mhm.
to make it into an actual career if you don't stop your other jobs.
Yeah.
Or your current career. Like, I can think of so many people where this is the instance of like they started a blog or they started a podcast or they were doing this and that. Or they started interior designing just like kind of
Mhm.
for fun. And then it was like, oh, I really like this, but I don't have time to like put the effort into it that I need to. I mean, that was Will's exact story.
Yeah.
To the point of like, okay, if I'm going to do this, I have to pursue it with 100% of all of my efforts all the time. And that doesn't include having your job.
A 9 to 5.
Right.
Especially in a creative field,
Mhm.
I feel like consistency is key number 1, and
Yes.
key number 2 is quality, both of which will suffer if you cannot pay attention to them,
Right.
like from 9 to 5, I
Right.
should say. Now, interestingly though, with like a photography, I feel like one shot could sort of make a career in a way. Does that make sense? Like if you take this a badass picture, like you have a portfolio as well, but you
Mhm.
can take a shot so captivating that maybe that can sort of launch you into something new. I don't
Right.
know. I think it's certainly an interesting question because I see like clearly he's in Florida in an office. He looks outside. He wants to be, a wildlife photographer and a nature photographer. And how can I focus on that when I work a 9 to 5 in a career
Mhm.
that I don't really love inside?
Well, and like again, you're just missing opportunities by being in a different job that's not related to the field you want to be in
Mhm.
because you're like missing the opportunity to have a mentor. You're missing the opportunity to like spend time perfecting your craft. You're missing the opportunity to like make mistakes and learn lessons, or you're making mistakes and then you don't have time to learn the lessons because you're doing it on the weekend.
Mhm.
I do think I'm always one for saying like take the leap, and
Mhm.
maybe it's coming across not as strongly from someone who I would say like I've never really like taken a leap that's like into the unknown. But at the same time, or at least in the sense of like moving across the country, but I have done
Mhm.
things that were like it's going to take all of my time and effort. I mean, going back to grad school, even though I knew that that's what I wanted to do
Yeah,
and I was committed to doing it, like I had to give up every single other thing in order to do
totally.
that.
I'm sure there was a path that was comfortable that you could have absolutely stayed in had you
Mhm.
not taken the leap of grad school, right?
Um, Geographically, I mean, moving from Florida to Alaska could not be more.
That's literally I think the longest possible way you could go for like the 50 states.
Yeah, probably.
Maybe like Maine to Hawaii, I guess, but
Yeah.
Florida to Alaska is pretty much as far as it gets.
It sounds tight.
It does.
I mean, so we actually in grad school we had people from Alaska come to Fort Worth for school because we had a clinical rotation in Alaska.
Yeah.
And so a lot of them would come, do their like didactic portion, then go back for their clinicals. But then some people who weren't from Alaska got to go to Alaska.
That's pretty sick.
And it was like, I mean, wasted on me because like my whole family's here. I wasn't gonna leave. And also like I'm not outdoorsy. So like I don't like need to go to Alaska.
Sally deFries and Fairbanks don't mix.
But like the people who went to Alaska like always did the coolest shit.
Yeah, that sounds sick.
I mean, again, everything we've already said, but I think moving across the country to like pursue what you want, especially to somewhere as cool as Alaska, like worst case scenarios, you're gonna get there and like it doesn't work out how you want it to. Maybe you hate it. You probably won't. But like you get to be in an entirely different environment. It's not like you're going like from Florida to Louisiana, which are like arguably like, okay, still in the South, still in the swamp.
Can confirm.
Like you're going from Florida to Alaska. Like just totally, totally different people, geographical location, like scenery, way of life.
Yeah, I mean, I think
Politics.
you at the very least you apply.
Yeah.
Nothing's ever going to happen if you apply, you don't get the job, you try again next time. You maybe you build your portfolio on the weekends in Florida. There's plenty of beautiful scenery in Florida. So I don't know, maybe you start small and do some work contractor for a realtor or a nature preserve or a town or something, like go in the Everglades and hang out with the python cowboy. What does he do? He finds pythons in the middle of the Everglades. I don't know. Start small and see what you can do building your portfolio that way. But I think there's options whether or not you go to Alaska. So
I think you should go.
I think you should too.
Like
Speaking
send
of
us your
Alaska,
Instagram so I can just like
yeah,
follow
let's see your portfolio. Speaking of Alaska though, you know what you can find in Alaska?
Like a lot of like weird cuts of meat probably from like the elk and shit.
Well, I was going to say wild caught Alaskan salmon.
Oh, okay. That probably makes more
Sally,
sense.
which you can find with our friends over at ButcherBox. Meal prepping is difficult and ButcherBox makes it easy. You're on the right track. ButcherBox is a subscription service that takes the guesswork out of finding high quality meat, and they source their meat from partners with the highest standards of quality. No more searching the grocery store for 100% grass-fed beef, free-range organic chicken, wild-caught seafood, and more. Their sourcing decisions are made holistically, keeping the farmer, the planet, and the animal in mind, as well as your family. I'm a big ButcherBox guy, Sally. I have cooked, I think, everything they've given me so far, which includes pork and chicken. It includes steaks. It includes lobster. Has some scallops for the boys, bacon, and steak tips, which are some of my favorite. And I still have more. I still have ground beef in there that just frozen, waiting for the summertime when the grills open back up and your boy gets out there on the community grill. What's your favorite cut of meat currently? Like if you were craving any sort of meat, what's the move in the deFries house right now?
I'm actually like back into steak.
Oh,
back
really?
into a filet. I had a real moment where I didn't like steak when I was pregnant. And I'm just like all in again.
Doesn't pregnancy messes with a lot of tastes though, right?
Yeah.
And cravings and whatnot.
Yeah.
That's wild. But now that you're back in on steak, ButcherBox is here for you, Sally. Every month, ButcherBox ships a curated selection of high-quality meat right to your home. Free shipping for the continental U.S. as well. No antibiotics or added hormones, and each box contains between 8 to 14 pounds of meat, depending on the box you choose. That's enough for 24 individual meals. That's a month of meat. Some people say it's truck month, Randy. It's meat month at the Merriman apartment because of ButcherBox. It's packed fresh and shipped frozen for your convenience, so you can save time on your next grocery store trip. Customize your own box or go with one of theirs. Either way, you're getting exactly what you want. This is your chance to never have to shop for ground beef again. That's right. ButcherBox is giving new members free ground beef for life. Are you kidding me, Randy? You kidding me? Free ground beef for life. Sign up at butcherbox.com/mail-in and get 2 pounds of ground beef free in every order for the life of your membership. Log on to butcherbox.com/mail-in to claim this deal. How about a voicemail, Sally?
Let's do it.
Hey, mailing crew. Coming up on 10-year high school reunion, class of 2012, shouts, and wanted to know what's to be expected with high school reunions. With social media, are they even necessary these days? I can't help but feel like you're kind of living in the past if you're super jazzed about your reunion. Let me know your thoughts. Thanks.
Damn, are you super jazzed about your 10-year high school
What's up,
reunion,
Brett?
Sally?
I know you're a big skier.
That's the next one.
I did not go to my 10-year high school reunion.
Womp womp. Why not?
Yeah, I kind of understand where this girl's coming from.
High school reunions are sort of obsolete, no? Just Instagram is taking care of that.
Yeah, that's how I feel. Honestly, ours was like very poorly planned.
Ooh.
Name
names, Sally.
No, but like the people who were on our student council like planned it.
Mm-hmm.
And I just personally, I'm not close to anybody that I went to high school with besides like a couple people.
Mm-hmm. Some select few.
And like all of us were like, I don't feel the need to go.
Sure.
So besides like seeing them, I didn't really like feel the need to go catch up with people that I don't really have an interest in everyday life.
Yeah.
Like I would feel differently, I guess, about a college reunion.
Okay.
And that, we don't really do that mostly because it's like we see each other at weddings and stuff, and then you're just like catching up. But maybe, and I think this is different for everybody. Like Will is really close with his high school friends because they like grew up together. Because they're from a small town. Like they still all talk all the time. And some of my best friends from college are really, really close with their high school friends. And like to the point where I'm close to some of their high school friends. But high school for me, like I was just ready to like get out. I think maybe because I was like in a suburb and I like wanted to be in like Austin proper,
That's fair.
And a lot of the people that I went to high school, I really had nothing in common with. It sounds like I'm really bitter and like hated high school.
Damn, what are you good, Sal?
But I to me, it was just something that I kind of moved past it, and that's how I felt. And then, especially when it like got planned, and the people that I would have seen were like, "Oh, we're not going." I was like, "Okay, well then that answers that for me."
Yeah,
but I also think it's if you want to go and see everyone, you should.
Totally. Yeah, and like I'm sort of on the same page as you. I have no burning desire to go to a high school reunion. Am I curious? Absolutely. But I keep up with probably 100 of my high school friends in some way or shape or form, whether it's just like following them on Instagram or really talking to 10 to 20 of them, right? Like I keep up with a lot of people from high school. I'm still good friends. I like going back to my hometown, Saratoga, and running into people at bars. And I know it's cliche, but like the night before Thanksgiving, I really haven't done that pandemic wise / work wise since I was 24.
Yeah.
And that's kind of the age where people are starting like, oh, let's save the bars for the younger kids. Like we don't really do that. But like I did not enjoy it. I just wouldn't be at the Boom Boom Room till 3 a.m. I'd be sitting at the City Tavern bar having a couple nachos and talking to somebody, having a legitimate conversation.
Right.
So I think there's room for that. I will always enjoy going home and running into people and catching up with people. But I think high school reunions sort of have just played out on social now. Like if you were graduated high school in 1995, yeah, you want to see what your buddies look like now that it's 2005, right? Or it's 1985 and now it's 1995. You want to go and stunt a little bit or see who's doing well. And I get that. But nowadays, I think they're more online. Now, what to expect? I would expect some people get a little too drunk. Randy is planning his high school reunion, so he might be the perfect one to ask. He's actually, they're on emails as we speak.
Okay.
And
I don't know. I feel like My hometown, I like love going back to my parents' house.
Mm-hmm.
And I love like my parents' friends who I grew up with, like our neighbors that have kids that are around my age, like either my age or a year younger or older.
Mm-hmm.
But in general, like in high school, I think that I knew that I was going to go to UT, and like, especially once my sisters were there, I was like, I'm over this. Like,
How
I don't
many
care.
people from your hometown went to UT? Like your high school class was X. How many went to UT?
So I think I graduated with like 700 something people.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm sure probably maybe 20 of us went to UT.
Okay. I was gonna say like 40-ish.
I
Like
mean,
almost
it could be that.
almost 10% kind of deal. Because it's
A
just it's
lot
such a
more
cool
went
school.
to like A&M and Tech.
Got it. Okay.
That's the thing about my hometown. Like, I just don't have a lot in common with many of those people.
Okay. No, I
And
get it.
so it was, it's different. Like I said, my college best friends, a lot of their friends went to UT.
Mm-hmm.
And so it was like their whole group basically moved to UT. Whereas like many of my friends didn't.
Mm-hmm. I think the last point I'll make on my side of this is when it comes to a high school reunion, I take care of a lot of the reunion I would like to make on my own. Like if I'm back home, I will dial up the guys and girls that I really enjoyed spending time with in high school, and keeping a sort of a cursory Instagram follow on some other people that I may not like actively seek out when I'm at home is kind of enough for me. And I would assume the same vice versa type of thing.
Yeah, I think that you're right. And this caller's right. It's like social media takes care of so much of that you're not like wondering like, oh, what happened to this dude? Like,
yeah, I could totally see myself if I didn't have Instagram or Facebook or Twitter being like, I'm so curious as to what so-and-so's up to. Like, what's Christian up to? What's Jared up to? Like, I could totally see that.
And I feel like we said this too, but like when you go home for like Thanksgiving or Christmas and you see that whole group of people again, that takes care of like my need to see those people.
Yeah, sort of satiates the palate.
Yeah.
Okay. I think, but you know what? If you go to a high school reunion and have a blast, I could 100% see that happening too.
Yeah.
So
ours was just sort of weird. Like no one like my older sister did hers. They like planned it 'cause she was on student council. And they actually like did a really fun bar, and like I don't even know what they did, but ours was like at this weird like outdoor kind of bar, really cafe. It was just lame.
I could see, say there's like an informal sort of, hey, the high school reunion in quotes is at, I use City Tavern because it's a popular bar in Saratoga. It's at City Tavern, as in between 5 and 9, somebody will be there. And then you stop in and kind of make it part of your night and just say, okay, I stopped by, but not like a formal, it's at a banquet hall and you dress up type of thing.
Randy, I need you to answer me a couple of questions about your high school reunion. Are there more than like one sanctioned events for the high school reunion? Like, are y'all doing like a football game and then you're like, no. Okay. See, I feel like, again, the stuff that you think about like in movies where people like go back for high school reunions, they're like home for homecoming game. And then they like have the high school reunion like that's at a gym. Like you think about that.
Yeah.
Like
in your high
none
school
of that
gym.
stuff. We
Don't think
didn't
that
do any
happens
of that.
anymore.
And also, if we did, I would again not go to any of it. But like, I think it just totally depends on your town and what you're doing.
Totally. Traditions and how long you were at your high school for and how close you are with people. And if you're involved in the planning like Randy is, there's a lot to it. But
I guess, oh my God, I think it's our 15-year high school reunion soon.
Sheesh.
I don't know that anybody's
I'm 10 years this year.
Yeah.
Wow. That is Jarring.
I don't. Will's actually close with a lot of people he went to high school with, or like keeps up with him, or like
Yeah.
knows what's happening. But he didn't go to his either, and I think that they also planned like a really shitty one.
Yeah, I was gonna say I'm not flying across the country
Correct.
if that is the only event that I would be flying home for.
And
No,
it-
sorry,
yeah, if
Saratoga
it's like
Springs High
shitty
School.
and you're like,
Yeah.
and it's not like on a convenient weekend, like what's the point?
That's enough on high school reunions. Let's do the next one.
Yeah.
Hey, gang, I've been seeing this girl for a couple weeks, so it's still very fresh. Okay. Things have been going all right. Recently, I met her and her friends out at a bar and had a blast. Here's the problem. I hit it off with her friend and felt a much better connection with her than the girl I've been on a couple dates with. At this point, I don't think this relationship is going anywhere, and I don't know how to proceed. Is there any way to ask the friend on a date without feeling like I'm going behind the other's back? It just feels kind of scummy. Thanks, y'all. By the way, we have not hooked up yet. Please include if that's relevant to the discussion.
You said that this has happened to you.
Yeah.
What happened? Give us a little rundown of what you did.
Straight up, this is my college girlfriend. This is how we met.
Okay.
This is going out with a group of friends. I was sort of introduced to this group of friends through a girl that I had met like summer after freshman year.
Okay.
Was part of the group of friends that eventually had another girl in it that I met and, started studying with and going to the gym and whatnot. We had this gym sort of atrium, food court kind of thing. So we would go to that and just told the initial girl that, hey, I don't think this is going to go anywhere. And I am into your friend. And we weren't exactly close after that, but it wasn't the end of the world.
Right.
And I think it's just if you have a connection with somebody, it's you have a connection with somebody.
I mean, honestly, that's what I was.
Yeah, it's sort of.
I was going to give.
You have to be honest. You have to be real. You have to be frank. You have to be not wishy-washy about this. Like, oh, hey, I don't know, and I'm gonna go. I'm texting somebody else. Like, no, I don't feel this is right. And I honestly have to tell you, I feel some better connection with somebody else.
Yeah.
And that somebody else is your friend. I think you just have to be honest. I think you have to be straightforward, honest, and no bullshit.
Right. Because even if that hurts her feelings, the original girl, it's going to hurt her feelings way worse if you like ghost her or like are sketchy.
Yeah. Or she walks into you and the other friend at a bar.
Right.
Like getting a little grab assy and she's like, wait, what the fuck?
And I think it kind of depends on their friendship. Like if they're best friends or just acquaintances, but honestly, either way, if they're like kind of acquaintances or they're best friends, both of them are going to respect you more if you say like, hey, I don't know if I see this really going anywhere. I do want to be honest with you that like I kind of hit it off with so and so. Like I'm not breaking up with you because of that, but like I just don't think that like we have a future.
Yeah, and it's early enough too.
Right.
Where they haven't hooked up.
Right.
They haven't there's very clearly no lines
very low
being
stakes.
crossed. Yeah, exactly. And if it doesn't work out with the new friend, no harm, no foul.
Exactly, because you probably weren't going to have a relationship with this girl anyway.
Yeah, you're probably not going back to the first one.
Right.
But I think that's okay in this.
Yeah.
So I think this happens a lot.
And you don't
especially
want to put the friend that you like in a weird position with the original girl by like being scummy and weird. Like you got to tell her how you feel, the original girl, and then you can like move on to asking the other girl out.
If you had to ballpark.
And also, just sorry to interrupt you.
No.
I'm thinking about the new friend, the girl he likes.
More than the other girl.
No girl is going to be like, oh, I'm not going. I mean, yes, they may be like, I'm not going out with him. He dumped you. Every girl, I mean, they might, but every girl's going to feel like that's flattering and be like, wow, he likes me more. You're not going to fuck yourself over by breaking up with the original girl because the second girl will either respect you for doing it.
If you do it correctly.
Yeah.
That's caveat there, but yeah, I see that.
I think the only thing here I think that he might be afraid of is like fucking over
Yeah, I like that he has the self-awareness to so like, hey, this kind of feels scummy
Yeah.
in a way. And that's a good step one to like recognize that if I do this incorrectly, it's going to be scummy.
Right. Yes.
But there's just a straightforward way. It's not going to be the easiest thing you've probably ever done. Just
Well, it's hard to tell somebody like
I liked somebody more than you.
right.
Yeah,
No
absolutely.
one likes to hear that. But at
No.
the same time, let's be honest with each other. Like, we're not going to have a relationship. So
Mhm.
why drag this out?
Amen. Amen. My scenario I wanted to ask you was, if you were to ballpark the percentage of how new relationships start, what is the biggest pie chart right now? And would you say it's apps? Would you say it's like friends of friends? Would you say it's work, social groups? It's like, or high school / like, or school, I guess. What is in your mind? What is like the biggest percentage on the pie chart?
Probably apps.
Okay. I would think so too.
I think in 2022 it's apps.
Or at least like initial hookups, right? Yeah.
meeting. Yeah.
I would like weirdly imagine that the longest relationships begin through friends of friends or through like sort of group meetings like this. I don't know. Maybe that's just like an idealist in me that yearns for the good old days where people met at ice cream shops and had pops together.
I mean, yeah, I'm trying to think of like who we know that's happened to. Like if you look at the company as a whole,
I think
most people met
of
online.
Dylan and Bay is a good one for me. Sort of friend group to friend group. No? Okay. Never mind.
No. That was a DM.
So now everybody's online. It's all DMs now. Instagram story
DMs.
responses. Here
Yeah.
we go.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, the good old days, Randy, are gone. No more friends.
They're
of
done,
friends.
Randy.
I think literally everybody is online. And then Dave and Alyssa would be school.
Theirs was more of a friend. They went to school together, but they weren't the same age.
Okay.
And they like knew of each other and were like in the same friend group.
Got it.
So theirs is kind of what you're thinking.
Man, I don't know. I think to answer this guy's question, just tell her.
Just tell her.
Mm-hmm.
And then don't ask out the friend 20 seconds later. Like,
I wouldn't go back to back with it.
Give her a little time to mourn.
It probably would be weird the next time y'all go out if you're with the if you're like with the new girl.
Yeah.
And the old girl is just hanging on. But you can also like give some levity to it and break the tension, being like, hey, matchmaker.
I mean,
over
this
there.
is
like,
definitely
yeah,
this has definitely happened.
Of course.
Obviously, it happened to you.
Of course.
And I think that there are situations where like the first girl may be super pissed, or again, you haven't like hooked up, you haven't really been on like more than a couple dates. There's a chance she's like gets over it.
Now, if you're 9 months in and one of her college friends comes and stays for the weekend and you happen to have a real nice connection there, that is a different story.
Way more difficult question to answer.
Absolutely. That's one of those, you just two ships in the night. Sorry.
Yeah.
What it must have been good potential, but not didn't work out.
Yeah.
If you're stressed about that, though, boy, do I have a solution for you, Sally. Not that you're stressed about it, but if you are out there.
Maybe I'm going to go home and think about this question and then just be so stressed.
But that's why you need the Calm app.
Okay.
A lot of emotions surface during the pandemic, during the new year we have. Maybe you're off your New Year's resolution and you're stressed about that. That's why the Calm app is for you. I'm going to give you 5 seconds to survey your thoughts. Sally, you ready for this?
Mm-hmm.
Are your thoughts surveyed?
Yeah.
Well, Calm app can help with that. When you're ready to survey more thoughts, I should say. Let go of your to-do list and pending projects and just focus on your breath. I need to sneeze, and it's really bad for this ad read that I have to sneeze in the middle, but I'm going to power through because that's about the least calm thing you have. Anyway, it's the new year, which means you've got to exercise. Well, we have all got exercise in the brain, I should say. But really what you need is exercise for your brain. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Resolve to strengthen your mind with a mindfulness practice. And just like a new gym routine, you may need a little help from a trainer. And that's where Calm comes in. For a lot of us, this may be the first time we'll be spending the holiday season and New Year with our loved ones in quite a while because of that pandemic we were talking about. But it can be exhausting. And after long days filled with family and New Year's resolutions and all that stuff, wind down with Calm. We're partnering with Calm, the #1 mental wellness app, to give you the tools that improve the way you feel. Clear your head with guided daily meditations, improve your focus with Calm's curated music tracks, and drift off to dreamland with Calm's imaginative sleep stories for children and adults. That is the wave that I'm on. I get on the Calm app and listen to their stories and just nod off to sleep. It's like counting sheep in the 21st century, Sally. If you go to calm.com/mail, you'll get a limited time offer of 40% off a Calm premium subscription, which includes hundreds of hours of programming and new content added every week. Over 100 million people around the world use Calm to take care of their minds. Sleep more, stress less, live better with Calm. For listeners of the mail-in, Calm is offering a special limited time promotion again of 40% off a Calm premium subscription at calm.com/MAIL. That's calm.com/MAIL for 40% off unlimited access to Calm's entire library. That's calm.com/mail. Voicemail time, Sally.
Let's do it.
Hey guys, I got a question. What is the most ridiculous, satisfying thing that you do around the house? Like for me, I love when I finish a loaf of bread or actually eat my vegetables before they get disgusting and moldy and gross. So yeah, what's your odd home satisfaction?
Sally, what are your odd home satisfactions?
Last week I cleaned out my closet.
Ooh,
It was tight.
that's fun. That's
Yeah.
fun. We can just rapid fire these. I like when I'm going to hang my clothes up after they're out of the washer, and I grab the exact number of hangers that I need, even though I just eyeballed it, and it matches perfectly the number of garments I need to hang up to dry.
Yeah.
That's like, oh, nailed that.
My nanny helped me clean the closet out, which was we can go back to rapid firing, but I have to like explain why this was like felt so good.
The floor is yours.
Our closet, Will is very tidy.
Mm-hmm.
Our closet looked like a bomb went off inside of it.
Oh no.
Will's very tidy in the spaces that people see. And I think the spaces where he works and like hangs out in.
Sure.
Well, he doesn't have to like sit in our closet, so it doesn't like matter to him.
Mm-hmm.
There were like piles of clothes that were like folded. There was like a half unpacked bag from like when we went to Mexico.
Oh yeah.
I mean, it was killing me. Like every time we walked in, you can't see the floor. There's like shit everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
We also like stored a bunch of random stuff in there, like didn't make sense. So she and I pulled out all of the stuff in the closet, like rehung everything, refolded everything because we've got like shelves and stuff, like put all the shoes. But the like most calming thing about the whole thing was that we color coded everything. So like everything's hanging like in like an ombre style fashion. She did comment several times about like how much black and oatmeal and gray Will wears and navy. She was like, does he wear any other colors? But it's like all of the oatmeal sweatshirts.
Yeah.
Then all of the black ones. Then
Mhm.
all of the navy, like in like a really pleasing manner.
Oh wow.
And we've actually kept it up for being clean.
There you go.
It's just like tackling one room like that where you like come out of it and you're like, oh my God, like this feels so much nicer.
Mm-hmm.
Is like probably my favorite like home thing.
There's nothing better than putting a lot of effort into a cleaning or a decluttering or an
Yeah.
organizing, whether it's a closet, a living room. Like when I come back home and my living room is spotless and like ready to entertain or just entertain myself, it's just like a
Yeah.
feeling. And so I've taken a lot of pride in my new place, like keeping it like that
Yeah.
and having it be like show ready, I call it.
Yeah.
Like I could bring home Randy, we could have a blast, grill some ButcherBox meats, and know that when he walked into my place, he'd be like, this feels homey and clean and calm.
Right.
I take a lot of pride in that. So, but it is satisfying for sure to know that what you did like makes a difference on your like psyche, just having a clean space.
I feel like the most productive person in the world,
Mhm.
the very, very few times that when my dryer buzzer goes off, I actually get the clothes immediately out of the dryer and fold them.
Oh yeah.
Because most of the time they sit in our dryer for
Mhm.
about 3 days, and then I just like continually dry them to like get some of the wrinkles out, and then I fold them.
There you go. Yeah. I mean, I kind of when I do laundry, I have a laundry day.
Same.
So it is like in the dryer, or it goes hang up garments first in the
Mhm.
washing machine, take those out, hang them up, next batch of clothes into the dryer or into the washer, and then dryer, and then I'm out. I'm folding that. Like I am clearing a block of time for that.
I do that on like Sundays,
Mm-hmm.
but having a kid,
Yeah, throws a wrench.
you kind of do like laundry all the time.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I did a bunch of laundry on Sunday,
Nice.
but that's when I'm like, wow, I'm being so productive because it's just like whites, then it's darks, then it's delicates, and I'm like, everything's going in like a little like washer to dryer while I start a new washer to dryer, and then I'm folding.
Mm-hmm.
That feels really productive. But then during the week, it's like, oh shit, we spilled whatever on this. Like Fritz did this, so there's just like stuff randomly in the washer.
Sure.
Or like my scrubs or like whatever. So those like when the washer fills up enough, we'll like wash that stuff,
Mm-hmm.
and then it'll go in the dryer, and then it'll stay in the dryer till Sunday when I'm like, okay, it's time to do some laundry.
Yeah.
And then I feel like a piece of shit because there's like my work scrubs are in there.
Sure. Another thing I like doing is like when you find the perfect piece of art or like wall decor for a certain spot that maybe you've been like struggling with for a couple months, and you're just like you don't quite know what to put there, and then you throw something up and it's like, oh, fucking nailed it. That's satisfying.
You know what's the most satisfying thing of all time though?
What's that?
Making your bed.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Like
Absolutely.
making your bed and like everything looking really nice and perfect makes your whole like life feel like it's more under control.
Totally. This is this is something I've started to consciously do, is make my bed, and not just like bleh, make it, like make it, tuck it,
Yeah.
fold over the front of the comforter, put my throw pillow in between my 4 pillows, neatly stacked. Like getting into making my bed, making it look presentable is like cathartic for me.
There is the guy who was the president of University of Texas. I think his name is Admiral William Craven.
Shouts to Billy Craven.
Hold on. Let me make sure that that's right. McCraven, sorry.
Oh.
McCraven.
Billy McCraven.
He was the U.S. Navy admiral, was the president of the University of Texas for a little bit, I think.
Okay.
And he has a book called Make Your Bed, and it's just about like habits. But literally, it's based on a graduation speech that he made at UT, where he's like, the first thing you should do, no matter what, to like be a successful person is make your bed every morning.
Yeah.
And it like kind of goes back to like people in the military making their bed and like what a big deal that is, and like the ritual of it, and like how clean it is and how precise it is. And that if you can do that small step every day, you like set yourself on a path of like completing tasks and like being successful.
Totally agree. Totally agree. Have to start your day with success.
It's a short little book. It's a good book. It's actually sitting on my bedside table right now.
Oh yeah? There you go.
Yeah.
This is a chalk answer, but like the feeling of fresh sheets
Nothing
is
better.
that's a home satisfaction. That's not an odd home satisfaction. That's just a straight home satisfaction.
Nothing feels better, and only girls will understand this, but nothing feels better than like fresh sheets, shaved legs. Like you're like, oh damn, I'm living a life of luxury.
Wow. That's like when I shaved my arm to be MGK. I guess I can relate.
No, you can't.
Yeah, okay.
When you shave your legs and you have fresh, crisp sheets, it's like It's like a double whammy.
Wow.
You know when you have gone to the beach and you'd shower,
You get all that fucking sand off
but
of
you're
you?
like, this is the cleanest I've ever felt in my
Yes.
life because I was just at the beach and it's disgusting.
Mhm.
It's like that times like a million because like your
Damn.
legs are fully shaved and you're
Mm-hmm.
in brand new clean ass sheets.
That's
Phenomenal
I
feeling.
I love it. I don't know
I
if
feel
I'm gonna
bad that
experience
you'll never be able to experience it. I mean,
Yeah.
you could if you shaved your legs.
I'm all set,
Okay.
but I mean,
Whatever, your loss.
anything
Fine,
else? I
don't-
get like
don't
when
shave your legs. Whatever.
I think I'm good. I don't really like. It's not like my kind of like white leg hair anyway. But when I get home, like when my Roomba has done some work, and my floors are squeaky ass clean, like that's a good feeling. A new candle in the space for the first time.
Uh-huh.
Again, these aren't odd home satisfactions. Like an odd home satisfaction I have is when I start the dishwasher, I purposely do work at my dining room table to be within earshot of my dishwasher because I like the sound that it makes. That's odd. It's comforting. It's like white noise to me.
Yeah. One of mine, I get what this guy is saying is like when you actually use all of your groceries, you don't throw anything out. You're like, wow.
Yeah, that's never happened to me. So, no offense. Like I waste food sometimes because I cook for one,
Yeah.
and I just don't get to use all the shredded lettuce. Times I'm sorry, I don't
Yeah.
get to use all the kale at sometimes, and I apologize for that. Maybe I should compost.
You should compost.
Okay, maybe I'm gonna start composting.
Get a compost pail.
Okay, I'll get a compost pail on my 3rd floor balcony.
No, you can do it inside.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I'll
Okay.
send you a link.
Thank you. Especially bananas do that for me a lot.
You should just freeze the bananas.
Okay.
Oh, you're talking about the peel? You should
Yeah,
compost
yeah,
the
yeah.
peel. Yeah.
Okay. Next one, Sally?
Yeah.
Hey, Brett and Sally. Since the boys are seeing the Blue Man Group soon in Vegas, I think this one's appropriate. He's referring to your husband and I, by the way.
I know. Yeah.
I'm having my bachelor party in Vegas as well this spring, and the question that my groomsman who is planning this with me has is, what should we do with the hotel room situation? By the way, this applies to different cities. This applies to bachelor and bachelorette parties. That's why I brought Sally in, who is the #1 bachelorette party person of all time. We have 12 of us going. Is it trash to get one big suite as the main hangout spot and have everyone else in normal rooms? Would you charge everyone the same amount or based on what room they're sleeping in? Currently, we have one big suite and another smaller one, but we have contemplated the cheaper option of getting a big suite and a few smaller rooms so everyone has their space / a bed to crash on. Overall, we just want everyone to be included whichever way we go. Thoughts?
I don't hate this move. We've done this move.
One big suite and multiple small rooms.
Right.
Okay.
I'm thinking specifically of because we've done this on a few bachelorette parties,
Okay.
including one in Vegas.
Okay.
Lily's actually in Vegas too.
Shots.
Because
That went well for y'all.
yeah. And we also did this in Scottsdale, mostly because, and the bride stays there either with like the maid of honor or like the sisters. I mean, that's how we did it.
Mm-hmm.
This guy would be like him and his best man. And it depends on how many other like beds there are, but like a couple people. Because then you can have like for girls, like we did like a lingerie shower and, you know, like a little like pre-going out drinks, but like same for the guys. It's like
Mhm.
you can meet up there.
Yeah, it's a hangout space. It's like a pre-game location.
This is where I need your opinion. Like, is this
Okay.
necessary for guys?
No, it's not.
Okay.
Because guys, like honestly, especially in Vegas, we'd rather be somewhere than in a room.
Correct.
And
okay.
it doesn't make sense for me to have a 12 grand room
Right.
that we are going to spend very little time in.
I think that was going to be my point. For girls, I think this makes more sense
Because you guys have a lot of getting ready.
there's
right?
like getting ready. There was like in Vegas, we did stuff like we had a lingerie shower. We also did a class of sorts. You might have seen
in old school, perhaps.
in old
Yeah,
school.
Okay.
So we needed like a meeting space.
Multiplication, Randy.
Versus like, you know, I've been on other ones where it's
Mhm.
like everyone has their own hotel room. I just feel like girls, it's more of like a communal, like we want to be getting ready, or like we want to have appetizers together, or we want to do this and that.
Sure.
Girls usually, at least a lot of the bachelorette parties I go on, we do like one night where like we have like the bride answers questions that the groom answered. And like that's hard to do at like a restaurant. It's like better to be in a smaller space where it's just y'all. Whereas I don't feel like this is as necessary for guys.
No, and is it a trash move? Absolutely not. It's just, I think it's less necessary overall.
Right. If you want to have a suite because you want to ball out in a suite, that's fine. I don't think you need to charge the other people who are not staying in the suite.
Nope, per room basis. Yep.
Exactly. So I think what is a better move in Vegas is probably people getting their own rooms and paying for them. And the people who decided to stay in the suite, splitting the suite. But like if I'm staying in a regular room, I'm not going to pay for the suite.
Correct.
I feel the same way about even girls. Like that we got a suite for Lily's and we paid for it because we were staying in it and we were having people over. But like I'm not going to ask so-and-so to like
chip in.
Right.
I think the easiest way to do this for the payment side of things is you are paying for whatever room you are in.
Right.
Right. That's just standard practice. If you want to ball out on a suite, like you said, because it has a hot tub, it has the floor to ceiling 2-story windows in Vegas. It's at the, the penthouse at the Bellagio, the penthouse at the Cosmo. Fine. But I don't think it's not necessary. It's not a trash move by any means. But as a bachelor party guy, you're going to spend less time there than you think.
Right.
Because you need one shower, you need 30 minutes to get yourself ready to go, and then you're at the tables. And then, but like I like how you mentioned there's a lot of activities at a bachelorette party that bachelor parties don't necessarily have.
Well, and this is location specific. Like Vegas, there's so much stuff to do, especially like that is being out with the group, gambling at the bar, at dinner, that doesn't require if you're like in a different location, you need like a central meeting spot because there's not as many places. Like say you're at the beach somewhere, there's not as many places to like convene as a group. Then that makes more sense to me.
Sure. Yeah, no doubt. I also think like, Vegas made sense with the hotel situation, but houses are becoming an ever more popular bachelor and bachelorette party move for people to get the big 7-bedroom. Everybody gets their own bed or cot or couch or whatever it is. And I like the house idea, but I think houses are higher ceiling, lower floor than hotels, in my opinion, when it comes to bachelorette party lodging, because you have to do it correctly.
I get what you're saying, and I do think that a house is necessary in certain scenarios. Like for me, if you're going to Cabo, I think a house is a way to go over like hotel rooms.
Okay.
However, as I am older,
hot take incoming.
I used to be very against the hotel room. We all need to be together. Now I'm like, I fucking want my own space. I want a bed. I want my own bathroom to get ready in. Like maybe share with one other person. I'm not trying to like, now if I'm going on a bachelorette party, I want it to also be a vacation for me.
Yeah, I think that's what
is me in a hotel robe in my bed sometimes. But that again has like been me evolving through years and years, more than a decade of doing bachelorette parties.
Correct. Yep.
And again, it's very location specific.
I think it's a trash move, and I haven't always thought this, but I'm 27 now, so I'm starting to get, I guess, in the older side of bachelor parties. I think it's a trash move to go to a location and not have enough beds for people.
That is my number one pet peeve.
We're gonna figure it out when we get there. I think that is a trash move. I've done it. I've certainly had fun doing it. I've been a part of them. Now, at this point in my life, I think that's a trash move.
I think for me, the biggest source of anxiety regarding any sort of group trip weekend is where will I sleep? And it always was that way. So like I would always be on the early first flight to the bachelorette party and usually first to leave, because I wanted to get a good bed and then, again, because I'm a trash human being, not help clean on Sunday.
Damn.
Which, again, if you're in a hotel, they clean for you.
And that's why the higher floor, like I mentioned. you're not going to have a trashed place,
Right.
and you're not responsible for untrashing the place.
Sally's bachelorette tips: go early, leave early. That's just saying.
Have you technically had your bachelorette party?
No, I have not.
Where are you going to have it?
I'm not having one.
Oh, come on. Will's having one.
I know.
You got to have something.
I think at this stage, I can't ask like a bunch of my girlfriends to go. Like, people are varying stages of pregnant or like postpartum, and I think at the I would love to do a
basically have to
girls
have
trip.
like an Austin brunch day or something.
Yeah,
like that.
it's
okay.
I would love to do a trip with my girlfriends, but I don't want it to be like a bachelorette party. I don't want it to be about me.
I see. Okay.
We have only pulled off like one true girls trip where it was no one's like nothing, like nobody's birthday, no one's bachelorette party.
No responsibilities. Kids are
We
accounted
had
for.
10 people.
Nobody's pregnant.
Yeah. I mean, this was pre half the people were probably married. We went to Cabo with 10 girls and it was so fun. And like, people were like, what are y'all here for? Whose bachelorette party is? And we like jokingly said it was mine one night at dinner just so we could like get free shit.
Oh, there you go.
We kind of like all took turns, but honestly, it was so fun to not be like all the attention on one person. We were just like all like doing our own thing. God, it like makes me miss it. I like want to have a girls trip now. Someone
set something
go on a
up,
girls
Sal.
trip with me.
Come
I
on.
may have to do it just
Yeah.
be like, I'm having a bachelorette party, but we're really having a girls trip and none of you have an excuse to get out of it, but we're not going to celebrate me. So figure it out.
There you go.
Yeah.
Why not? Man, I'm looking forward to Vegas.
Yeah.
And we all have beds, which is
I think that's the most important part for me at this point.
trash move is not having enough beds for people. It's not a trash move to not have a reservation. I know that's popular now. It's not a trash move to not have like a plan in place, because especially on a bachelor party, like this is a generalization here, but if you have a group of 12 guys and you have a bar that serves beer, like you're generally going to be okay, and maybe put a game on like that. Again, generalization, but trash move to have a suite and smaller rooms. No, I get it.
No, just don't make people pay for the suite that aren't staying in the suite.
Bang. That's going to do it for us today, Sally. Any shower thoughts before we get out of here?
No. Did you have
Nothing.
any?
No, I mean, my brain has been, I think I'm having like post-COVID brain fog,
You've
like
got
a
the
week and a
long
half
COVID.
later. Yeah, I have the
You know
long
what my
COVID.
shower thought is right now?
What's that?
I just remembered that I need to go to the dry cleaner in Westlake.
Okay. Oh, Rick's.
I took stuff there
Yeah.
literally a month ago
Oh, wow.
and like forgot about it till just now. And I was literally thinking like, oh shit, I need to go pick that stuff up. That's my shower thought. Like
Nice.
totally left clothes there. Well, it's like, it was a suit of Will's and like a dress I wore to a wedding. And so like shit I'm not wearing every day that I literally just remembered
There you
that I
go.
have to go get. So
Well, you can go snag it.
yeah, I gotta go get it.
Yeah, I have a couple weddings coming up that I'm struggling with outfits on. So if you have any linen, like sky blue blazer, sport coat ideas, throw them my way.
Okay.
Okay, Randy. No shower thoughts from Randy. Although I am going to get his intel on planning a high school reunion.
Wow.
After this.
Yeah, we want to know.
That'll do it for us on Mail In this week. Sally, where can the folks find you?
Sally deFries on Instagram and Twitter.
Bang. I am Brett Merriman at Schmerriman on both Instagram and Twitter. Hit us with a subscription on iTunes like Sally did earlier in this episode. Thank you, Sally.
Wow.
Rate 5 stars. Give us a review. Tell a friend about the podcast. Hit the hotline number. A couple voicemails this week. Let's get a couple more next week. 888-362-MAIL. That's 888-362-6245. Or you can write in at the link in the Twitter bio at Mail In Podcast. We'll see y'all next week.
Bye.